So in this video I'm going to be telling you how to level your crafting, gathering, and combat classes cheaply and effectively. So I'm going to go with the crafting and gathering classes first. So these will be the basic ways of leveling your gear, not the actual class itself. So, as you see, there's really not too many different ways to obtain crafting and gathering gear. Well, there is, but there's really only so many types of it. Um, Personally, I don't really suggest leveling any of it up until you get to about 50-ish or 60. I forget exactly when collectibles unlocked for crafting and gathering. But once you have collectibles, you can not only level, you can gain gear while you do it. After this, there's really only the crafted gear that will argue with it. Um, so, combat classes, we get to uh, basically only these. There's a vendor that is found near most Aetherites. They are tombstone vendors. That's the name of them and the symbol, while in actual game, the map symbol is just a blue bag. Everything else here is relatively average in comparison to Tombstone gear because at the end of the expansion it is classified as best in slot. The second best in slot is probably going to be crafting, and then maybe the hunt gear. I don't know, I never really focused that hard on the actual third best in slot. So, where can you find tombstone sellers? Well, any of these locations. Yes, this is a little bit of name spoilering, but a name is a name. I can literally just give you a name and you'll have no idea what it's going to say. So, there will be Rwanda sellers at these locations except for level 90. The level 90 ones will be separated, and I will go and show you those while I'm going to continue talking. So, I wouldn't really worry about upgrading your gear too hard. It is mostly just so you can actually access the next expansion. As long as you can access the next expansion, you can basically just level up with dungeon gear. With dungeon gear, it will be on par to tombstone gear. I do believe 5 levels into the expansion, sometimes 4, sometimes 3, it really depends on the leveling. Square has done a pretty nice job of doing catch-up mechanics, which allows us to um, speed up our leveling process and not have to grind like the level 90s, currently attempting best in slot from different sellers. Now, given the fact that if you need level 60 gear and you have anything higher, you might be able to unsync um, trials or dungeons and just speed run yourself some gear. I do this all the time on normal raids just to help speed it up. I don't really need very great gear, I only need enough to kill the boss. So with this I can basically take a level 90 DPS, go into a level 70 unsynced with a group or by myself, and collect some gear that I might need for a level 70 class. This is only really prevalent for things like Sage and Reaper, and any other class that really starts at 50 or 60, which Samurai and Red Mages kind of looking at you guys for not upgrading your gear, even though you can unsync a level 50 really, really easy. New players, that is not towards you guys. Mostly for the people that can unsync it. You really should try and get some decent gear on your classes so that you don't have to really try as hard. Um, Besides not having to try as hard, there is one other way of passively gaining gear. That would be your retainers. I haven't made a retainer video, but it is the Quick Ventures. Has a chance to bring back gear. Yes, it is completely RNG based. No, I cannot predict what gear will come when mine do. It's just an extra piece. Now, I do believe I've gotten most of the information across and no real desire to keep going.